Morning, folks. I've got a little bit of good news for you, and it's a little bit of here nor there news, and then we got some stuff that I'm not too happy about reporting. But let's go ahead and get into all of it. First off, Justice Clarence Thomas. I like that guy. He's a great constitutional Supreme Court justice. He asked the Supreme Court to reevaluate big tech's immunity under Section 230, meaning that Facebook and all these oligarchs, they've got way too much power. They got way too much censorship ability with their fact-checking wannabe selves. And this 230 has been talked about many times before in Congress, but nobody has ever pushed it because it looks like most of the Congress takes that money from these big tech giants. Well, Clarence Thomas, he's always been against them. He's always been against the censorship. And he doesn't give a flying rat's ass about Facebook and Instagram and all those companies that try to censor normal Americans for having free speech, for wanting to have free speech. So I'm glad to see that Clarence Thomas is trying to get this pushed into some kind of legislation, or at least a vote, to see what we can do to repeal Mark Zuckerberg and all them clowns' ability to skate past any obligation to or any situation where they could be prosecuted. This Section 230 basically protects these folks from any kind of prosecution while they continue to prosecute people by knocking them off their sites and playing the misinformation game. Glad to see it. I hope this goes through. Needs to go through. Ted Cruz talked about it many times, and I've yet to see anything get done about it other than talk, because it looks like about over half the Congress takes that Zuckerberg money, and so for that reason alone, they don't mess with the guy. Not too much. And he's not the only one. There's a bunch of them out there, them censor demons, as I call them. Let's see here. It says, thank a Democrat, gas prices soar overnight to a new all-time high record of $4.18 per gallon. And you know, it wasn't that long ago when Trump was making a speech. I guess it was about last year. Most people don't remember it, but this is what he had to say. Kind of strange how Trump always seems to be able to call things so far in advance. It says, flashback. Trump says at his rally, he warns that gas will be $7 a gallon, if not more, if Biden is elected. How did he know this? How did he know that Biden was going to attack the oil industry to the point that it cost us at the pump? Well, because Biden told us he was going to do that. So this is what we get. We get what we expect from the people that are trying to rob us of our energy independence. And that's why we have this war going on overseas at the moment. Big part of it. Huge part of it. Well, while all this gaslighting and thing is going on, says Jen Psaki says, it's disturbing. Politicians are peddling conspiracy theories and casting doubt on the jabberdoodle. After years of gaslighting us with all her lies and all the lies about the jabberdoodle with their little misinformation back and forth crap, not sure what to believe from one day to the next, so they changed the rule according to the science. It's funny how the science changes in a heartbeat. I've never seen it happen like that before. But at any rate, there is a lot going on in Arizona. Lawmakers are introducing legislation to repeal precinct committeeman selection rules change after pressure from the grassroots. They tried to pull a fast one the other day and change some rules, slide some rules in without changing the color of the ink to let people know that there was provisions added to the legislation. They were trying to pull an okie doke. It didn't work. They got caught. And it looks like now they're going to have to go through and filter through this and fix it to make sure it doesn't go that way. They're trying to be sneaky over there in Arizona. Some of them people you thought were your great Republicans, some of them let this stuff slide right on through. It says, Jill Biden says, while we're in gaslight land, Jill Biden says, Trump brought 4 years of chaos to the U.S., claims Joe Biden is the right person for this moment in history. My question to Jill Biden is, have you had a cognitive test lately? If not, I want to know why you're lying, because the truth of the matter is, Biden may be the right person in this moment for history, for China, or maybe Russia, or maybe these World Economic Forum idiots that are pushing him around, or putting him in a headlock, dragging him around, should I say. You know who I'm talking about. Klaus Q-Tip and that other guy, George sorry ass. They're a big part of this problem. They're a big part of why this war is going on in Ukraine, and they're a big part of the reason we are fighting to have our own energy independence. These people helped orchestrate this crap. It's a sad day in the world when the big tech oligarchs and the billionaires think they have the right to control people's thoughts. It's sick, and I actually have a video. I'll probably bring it to you later today or maybe tomorrow. It's about a 4-minute video of Klaus Q-Tip. You know who I'm talking about. It's one of his spokesmen is talking about how they want to do this whole transhumanistic changing of the people, genetically altering. It's a weird article, but this is what he wants. This is the type of people these elites are. Rules for thee and not for me, and let's see what we can do to change genetics of human beings with the jabberdoodles. That's a crazy thought, but they spoke it out loud. They talked about it, and this was all discussed in this forum way before all this stuff happened. You think that's a coincidence? I don't. Just my opinion. Let me go into one more article here. It says, exclusive, over 30,000 notarized lawful affidavits delivered to Washington state officials, Governor Inslee office, and other officials refused service. Let's see here. It says on Friday, March 4th, 2022, Washington State Tea Room, the monumental statewide movement attempt to serve Washington state officials with over 30,000 lawful affidavits from the citizens of Washington demanding an end to all the mandates and request a forensic examination of the 2020. Speaking to the Gateway Pundit, the founder of the Washington State Tea Room, Brianna Mates, said, this recent serving is the first of two of the first phase of our mission. The leader of the Washington State Tea Room are ready to speak on their movement as they have been put into play in Washington State to take the power back for the people of Washington. We have kept it under the radar till now for logistic reasons, but it's time to share the news far and wide. This is both monumental and historical for Washington State, and it is the largest movement in Washington State ever. We have a very big thing to come and a crazy moment. This is only the beginning, and it's high time for the people of Washington to have their voices heard by our own state government, who has rejected our constitutional rights a long time ago and who has refused to listen to the people for a very long time. It is time to stand up and be ready. This movement has brought hope and action to the people across the state, and this has stood in the face, and they have stood in the thousands to join with their voices, then sworn and notarized affidavits with counties and every other corner of Washington. And it's an honor for Washington Tea Room team to take the voices to our government with the first phase of our mission. Said according to the news release, Inslee office refused to accept services or sign the documents, as well as the Attorney General Ferguson's office, Jenkins' office, Murray, and Cantwell offices. Only Lieutenant Governor Heck office signed for the documents and took service. It says days prior to the process, servers made the necessary arrangements to request services and were informed by each state level elected public servants that officials that their offices would be open and take services of the documents. None of these officers for either Cantwell or Murray would answer their phones or return the calls. They're trying to do that I say nothing, that radio silence thing. Inslee's office refused to accept services or sign the document and sent the servers to the Attorney General Ferguson's office. The Attorney General Ferguson's office refused to sign the documents as well, and instructed the servers to leave the boxes and documents for a governor and an attorney general in the foyer. That's not good. They didn't even respect us enough to come out and speak to us directly, Brianna Mates stated after being met by the clerk's security guards at the office, who refused services. Each attempt to serve was recorded live. And you can watch all this on our live feed on the Gateway Pundit on this particular article. It's called Exclusive, over 30,000 notarized. That's pretty crazy stuff. They're pushing for the truth over there. It looks like we've got a big number of affidavits and pissed off people ready to bring it to Washington. Let them know how they feel about their state being run like an anti-democracy in supposedly democratic D.C. That's about all I got for you this morning, folks. I did see that Robin Voss is still trying to shove some ways to do nefarious things through before this assembly adjourns. They're trying to sneak through some legislation as well, so we need to keep up on that as well. People need to keep up on this Wisconsin, this Michigan hearings that are going on over these next couple of weeks. Make sure none of this nefarious crap slides on through. That's all I really want to say about that. That's about good enough for me today. I have there's one more article on here, and I'll put the link to the description down below. There's a video. This is about a Wisconsin farmer, a former Army captain. He goes off on the Senate Majority Leader.